Let's bring in our guests. I believe we have Judd Apatow and Pete Holmes promoting Crashing. I keep saying Crash, but it's Crashing.
Yeah, Crash is something totally different.
Totally different. But my heart was in the right
similar.
place. It premieres Sunday, 10:30 on HBO. Hi, Judd. How are you?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
And hello, Pete. Hey, Dave. How are you?
Hi, Jimmy.
Dave Rath. Good to see you, pal. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, we switch back and forth. Oh, my God. You guys got a whole crew with you.
Well,
Let me make sure Judd's on. What mic is that?
we roll deep.
Yeah, you do. It's a lot of people.
I'll be working
That's
with
Mike 5.
I'll be working with Mike 5 today for all of you at home.
Okay, cool. Now
The audience does like to know who's on which number, Mike.
Exactly. I'll be the Jewish one, and Pete will be the non-Jewish one.
This is a goy mic, right?
Okay, yeah, we have a J and an NJ mic, so I know which one's to pot up.
Pete and I have worn the same color jacket and shirt.
Yep.
This is what happens. Our periods are in sync.
Is that on purpose or no?
I think it's a lack of creativity on both of our parts.
We just wear blue. We're boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, boys wear blue. You're wearing
it's
blue.
safe. I'm wearing blue.
And you're a
It's-
boy.
It's safe. I'm a boy.
We're the ladies at the party wearing the same cocktail dress.
Yeah, it's humiliating, but it's kind of like, yeah, we both have good taste.
Yeah, exactly.
It is warm in here, correct?
Is it
I'm a
toasty?
little
Yeah.
toasty. I was just hosting the Today Show.
Toasting.
So I don't want to
Oh,
brag.
wow.
you guys. It's just a thing I do. It's just
Wow.
a thing I do.
Wow, well, welcome to This Is Quite a Letdown, isn't it?
And then this afternoon, I'm filling in hosting Charlie Rose.
Really? Rose.
With Pete and Artie and Keith Olbermann is going to be on.
He's
Not
your
on the
guest?
same
I'm hosting
episode.
my ass off today.
Yeah.
Wow, have you done Charlie Rose?
I have been on Charlie Rose. So the one thing I don't like about Charlie Rose is I have a bald spot, but I never really can see it. But on Charlie Rose, there's a camera behind you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So all you see is my bald spot the whole time. So other than that, it's
It's the worst, right? When you look at yourself from a different angle, and like I've
Yeah.
convinced myself that I'm not losing my hair,
Yeah.
but I always put my chin up when I look in the mirror.
That's so funny. I've never had a high angle photo taken of me because I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
So every photo I'm just like,
So when
professional photographers to promote Crashing are like 5 feet tall, and I'm like, this is going to look like garbage. Thank you very much.
yeah, the first time I realized I was losing a little hair, it's always the comedians. Keith Robinson goes, "You're losing your hair, stupid." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then I looked in the mirror. I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, no.
Thank you for nothing.
I realized I was losing hair when I leaned back against metal. And then suddenly it was cold against my head. I was like, what's happening?
I don't lose hair, I lose erections.
I'm sorry, I've always had that problem.
Right. So you're both.
You ever been? But yeah, you're making love. They're tweeting your nipples. You're like, oh, wrong gender. Who am I? I don't know.
This is Thursday. Wrong gender for Thursday.
I'm not the guy I thought I was. Where's Artie?
Artie is on a schedule of his own, but he'll just
He's like
walk
Kung
in.
Fu. He drifts. He wears
Okay.
robes a lot.
Yeah.
He's very good at fighting.
Is he coming in?
We think so.
Yeah.
We hope so. Oh, you never know if Artie's going to. That's part of his appeal.
That is
Yeah.
part of what makes it exciting.
If I want to do an Artie impression, I need a bite of a hoagie. Does anyone have a hoagie? I just need something in my mouth all the time.
Now, did you guys originally conceptualize Artie in this? Because the moment I interacted with you guys, I'm like, he's
Yes.
perfect.
Well, I think that we thought for the first episode we need someone really great. And we said, should it be Artie? Could Artie do this?
He came
is Artie
in
up for this?
for the audition in like a V-neck white undershirt with stains. He was wearing sunglasses indoors. It wasn't bright. He came in with the script all printed out but not stapled and in the wrong order. And he sat down with the other two comedians. It was a group audition, but everything he said was hilarious. Like it was the least professional thing. He's very professional on the show, but the audition was like a localized tornado. And we were like, I think we have to do this with Artie. This is incredible.
Sometimes things falling apart in an audition actually makes it go better because it feels alive. It feels like there's something happening here.
It was so
be.
sterile, and then he comes in, and suddenly you're like, I can't take my eyes off this guy. He was so
Right.
great.
And he's willing to talk about everything he's been through on the show because he's playing himself. But he's really smart. He knows what applies to the story and the scene because he is a great actor. He hadn't acted in 14 years because he had been doing radio and
Drugs.
and a lot
Doing
of
some
other
radio, some drugs.
and he's really strong. Like it's
It's insane to think that he just jumped right back into it.
and so much of the show is about Pete being religious and Artie, having these struggles. And so it's this religious comedian hanging out with all of these, let's say, not religious people.
Yeah.
And the conversations and what they learn from each other. So it's a demented Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah,
Artie really is good on the show. All the comedians played themselves on the show.
Well,
Yeah,
some people
for the
don't.
most
And that's
part.
the weird thing is every once in a while we want to use a comic to do something else.
Oh, yeah,
You
like,
know,
like
Dov
Yeah.
Davidoff plays
Yeah.
a guy named Jason.
Alan
so
Havey
sometimes-
does a character, and it's so funny. We didn't call him Alan Havey. So our rules are malleable.
We just want
Jim
the
Norton
funniest person
plays
for the
Jim
job.
Norton, clearly.
Jim Norton does play Jim
Did you have
Norton.
like an audition script, and then if people did well on that, you would kind of write the episode around them?
Yeah. We didn't bend the actor for the script. We bended the script for the actor. And one of the things that was genius that Judd did is we had the scene written for this pizza place where Artie's kind of being like the ghost of Christmas future. You know what I mean? He's like, are you sure you want to do this? It's not what you think it is. Basically everything you want to tell a young comedian. And we had a script, and Judd just yelled out from behind the cameras, and we're shooting on film, so the reels are like 15 minutes each. He's like, Artie, just tell him what you tell a new comedian. And then he did. And at the end of the reel, everyone applauded. It's like a huge reason why the show works is because he just riffed and opened up his heart.
Look over there. Everyone who's with us is on their phone. Every single there's 3 people. Our whole team, management, publicists, fiancés. No one's paying attention in the room. That's the level of
That's my
excitement.
fiance. I don't like the word
Yeah.
fiance. If you didn't know what fiance meant, and I said, "Would you like to see my fiance?" Wouldn't you think I was about to show you my sword or something, or like my pet jaguar? It sounds so fancy.
Yeah, it is.
It's Valerie. Now I have to be like this fiance.
Future wife sounds nice.
I like girlfriend forever.
Okay.
This is my forever girlfriend.
Is it the
my
word you don't
wife
like
to
or the
be.
implication of what is about to happen that you don't like?
What's that?
Is it the word you don't like
I
or
just
the
don't like the
implication?
word. It
Okay.
sounds so. It's like saying menu or something. It's menu, and this is girlfriend.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to get married. Why do I have to change the word I say? I just like to get her name out there as quickly as possible so I can just say Valerie.
When are you getting married?
October.
Oh.
This year.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I guess you can get nervous about, we were joking actually with Valerie. One of the great things about her is you can make these jokes.
You mean your fiance?
Oh, you fucking dick. I don't
come
have
on.
a sword. It's like inviting all your friends and family to watch you place a bet on your relationship. So that's tense. That's a little bit tense.
That's a funny way to look at it.
But I love it. We're completely open. Even if you can make a joke like that to your fiance, Jesus, it's a good fit for me. We got engaged in a hot air balloon.
Did you really?
So elevate your game, boys.
Weren't you scared of a hot air balloon? The idea of I have the nightmares of hot air balloons where they're just going to take off and then the guy has a heart attack and I can't get back down.
That's a movie. Oh yeah, Artie
It's a
Lange
good
in the
movie.
house.
It's
Artie
like,
Lange in the
instead of
house.
speed, it should be called slow.
Hi, Artie. How are you?
Arthur Lange!
I want to make sure that I got your mic on. Is that
Just
the mic
turn
too?
them all on. All the mics are.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. We were
Welcome.
just saying Jim has nightmares about hot air balloons. And that's not a bad idea.
Then
for
Artie
a
walks in.
movie.
There is a movie where a hot air balloon escapes.
What's going on here?
I like to say that I go, Artie's like an amalgamation of like 3 different comedians, and I'm like, that's not a fat joke.
Yes, it is. Let's make it a fact. It is so weird coming in here. Oh my God, it's weird.
Is this the
Why?
first time you've been in here in a while?
No, I've done the Opie show actually a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I have a blast doing that, and Sherrod show, Race Wars. But no, it's just life is the 180 my life took.
You mean serious? It's weird to come into serious.
Yeah. I'm not allowed in that part of the building anymore.
Yes. What do they think is going to happen?
I don't know. It's a very tense situation. He's got to be on vacation. Did you guys try to get on his show? Did you guys pitch doing his show? I mean,
What show are we talking about?
On
Howard
Stern.
Stern.
I'm just kidding.
Pete Dominic.
Well, if you want to reach Pete Dominic's family,
You have beef with Howard? Not a fat joke.
I guess you could call it beef. Yeah. I don't
No,
know.
I know. I
It's
know
the most
Artie.
confusing thing. It's just weird that there was tension over on this side, except for me and you, and I was allowed in there, and now I'm not allowed in there.
Isn't it funny how me and Artie have remained friends through all of it? Like with Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern, when we got fired in NEW, Artie, I loved. He was so nice to me. The night we got canned, he was great. We've always stayed friendly. Me and Opie don't talk. He does Opie show. We're still friends. Like me and
Do
you.
you not talk?
We haven't
officially?
spoken since September. But
Really?
yeah, it is what it is.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
but I mean, me and you have remained friends regardless. The world collapses around us. Right. And we just continue making love.
No, like we would come up. Your life was again so efficient. I would, come up here looking like Keith Richards from Studio 54, and you just were working out, and what you've done to yourself, like working out wise, is like a story. It's a documentary.
Thank you, but I still couldn't make it in any earlier than you, so I'm not doing that much. You were doing heroin. We walked in together. So I wasn't doing that great, Artie.
That's what an awful sentence to say to somebody.
I feel like Jim should be your trainer.
No, well, he could do the cellar on weeknights, and then
Yeah.
I tried the whole thing where wouldn't all. I wish I had Judd in my life at that point to give me that logical look like no. I was gonna try to stay up all night and go right down.
I
That
tried to
would've
stay
worked.
up. I'm not a big stay up all night person. I tried to do that once. I was punching up Happy Gilmore, and I was so tired and stressed because I was really young, and I thought, if I screw this up, this movie's not going to be good, which isn't true, but just my own pressure on myself to not screw up helping out Adam. And I stayed up late, and I was smoking pot, which I never do, and I had to go to a wedding in Boston of a cousin. And I get there, and I have a massive panic attack.
Oh, wow.
And I sit down in the wedding, and the bridesmaids get up, and they sing Bryan Adams' All for Love from the Three Musketeers. And my brain fucking melts down. Like, my heart starts racing, I start sweating.
That's not the song you want to die to.
And then I get on the plane to go home, and then I have another panic attack. I have to stop in Chicago. I take a nap in the airport. I don't even know what's happening. I don't even know what a panic attack is. I think I'm having a nervous breakdown. And then I say to the stewardess, she's bringing people on the plane. I said, I don't think I can get on the plane because I'm really freaking out. And I thought she would go, it's going to be fine.
Right.
Just come on. And what she said was, on or off. And then I checked her. I checked into a hotel and just got under the cover.
I've had hookers say that to me.
Out or in?
Yeah, while I was face down. So you got to.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying real quick. The worst reaction I ever had of all the drugs I've done is to weed. I got to L.A. and I smoked what was called the chronic.
Yes.
This kid's an 18-year-old rich kid, the son of Quincy Jones' partner, and he was a really nice kid. But he said, "Just this is strong stuff." And I was 27. I'm going, dude, I started smoking weed before you were born, and I took 2 puffs of this stuff. I got back to the Oakwood Apartments, not a pleasant place. And I was literally trying to get the evil out of my body by standing on my head. I was calling friends.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Yeah, some pot is like acid.
Yeah, it's laced with something. It was orange, and I thought I could handle it. And it's 2 puffs, man.
That happened to me at Seth Rogen's wedding. So Seth Rogen, at the dinner before his wedding, he gives everybody pot, right? Like literally, like a woman dressed up is handing out envelopes with joints.
And he's a big weed guy, obviously.
And he enjoys the weed. He's from Canada. To him, it's like a beer.
Right.
And so now the pot is very weak, on purpose. And so everyone has fun. It's like nothing. It's like everyone had a beer.
Right.
But the next day at the wedding, I was like, oh, I guess I should smoke pot. Maybe I don't understand this whole pot thing. Maybe it is delightful. And someone smoking pot, they're like, yeah, this is Seth's pot. And I didn't realize that meant this is what Seth smokes.
Right.
I thought it meant the pot from the night before.
Right.
Oh, it was a good shit.
One hit, I'm in the woods crying. I'm like in the room watching Golden Girls under the sheets. Like it completely took me down.
You turn it to Margot Kidder. One hit.
That's the best reference ever.
I'm nude in the bushes.
That's a good question for Artie.
Oh, that's right. She was okay.
How much of drug experiences are good versus awful?
I'd say 99% were good.
When speaking to kids.
No, that's an excellent question because it depends on how you look at it. The actual doing them is great when you're high, but the aftermath and what it causes in your life is just so chaotic.
Yeah.
So I would say probably all were bad if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
But if you just keep doing it, then you're just high all the time, and then it's good.
That was if you have the money for it, sure. Most people have to keep stealing Buicks. I never got a lot of because the law will get you. You withdraw there, but I went through withdrawals in jail once, and that was the single worst. I said I'm in hell. Something happened. I died at some point, and I'm in hell. Going through opiate withdrawals in L.A. County jail.
Opiate withdrawals?
Opiate.
We're all going through.
That's what I'm going through, too.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what to do. I've been waking up just crying. Where is my ex-partner?
If you'd like to make light of this anymore, let me know.
I've had other jokes I didn't say out of respect.
Well, thank you.
Were you vomiting and stuff in jail, like over the toilet and shaking?
Shits,
Roommate or no roommate?
Well, at this point, a roommate. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
that everyone could see, or just you?
No, well, here they don't let you. They have to see us. But he was not a brilliant guy. We couldn't have pulled off the Clint Eastwood and Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh no!
He would not have got his head done yet. What are you doing? What part?
terrible
You got
thing
the
to say.
hole dug yet? No. I don't know if I told. This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. The last time I fell off the wagon, I got arrested. I was under indictment, and I had to have my a cellmate. Okay, it was a very large Hispanic man. He was about 300 pounds, and like the toilet in an average jail cell is like a foot from where you sleep. So when the other guy is, shitting, you're a foot from him moving his bowels. That's the only way. And I was trying to sleep, and I was terrified. I was pretending to sleep, and his knee rested on my forehead, and he didn't move it, and it was like stuck. The sweat and.
Oh my God!
And he shit as his knee was on my forehead.
Did he use you for like leverage?
Did no one tell you could put the pillow on the other side?
I didn't want to move. I was like this, and he got up, and he didn't realize it, or he just felt comfortable, and he thought I was sleeping. And when he saw it, this is the funny. When he saw it, he went, "Oh, my bad." And I thought, "You're bad. Your bad is when like a wiffle ball hits my car." He laid his.
And do you bond in jail? Like, do you sit and talk with that guy? Like, what's that like?
That me and him actually spoke quite a bit about it to each other. But the story, that totally true. In L.A. County Jail, a Puerto Rican guy was right next to me. I had my own cell for that because of Mad TV. The nicest guy in the world, and he was in there for murder. And he was waiting an appeal. So that's why I was in county. And he found the Bible and everything. He was trying to preach to me. And after he talked to me about the Bible, he said, "Yo, man, did you ever fuck a toilet paper?" I said, "What?" He goes, "I'm going to teach you how to make pussy out of roll of toilet paper." And I go, "Okay."
I'm listening.
It's like turning water into wine. Actually,
If you do this, I
very
believe.
biblical.
Right after the Bible, he said, take the cardboard out of the toilet paper. You put it in a sink overnight in lukewarm water. I love that he said lukewarm.
Yeah, not hot.
No.
Like it failed every time. Like, Luke, it should have been lukewarm.
Yeah.
Don't scorch the roll.
So he said, just make it moist and crumple it up, and then that's it, man. Make it like a triangle. He goes, "Dude, you will never go back to real pussy." I had this conversation with him verbatim. It don't complain. It don't take your money. It don't fuck your friend. I said,
You can't be so sure about that. You can't have your eyes on your roll all the time.
Absolutely.
You come home, it's a little too lukewarm.
I said,
It's still warm.
First of all, the prison sink, I don't know, it's tough to adjust to Luke.
Yeah.
He said, don't complain. And then I said, why are you in here? He goes, because my bitch fuck my friend. I said, you killed her? He goes, no, I killed my friend. I said, you're screaming it. How's the appeal going to go? I never tried it.
All this happened at Pete and Christian Youth Camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just so funny, the Bible and that is just so great.
Let
I have
me
very
plug what
soft
you're
hands.
promoting. Sorry to interrupt you. I want to promote Crashing, and premieres Sunday at 10:30 on HBO. We have Judd in studio and Pete and Artie, of course.
And we're doing concerts.
And you are, you are.
Yes.
They're doing live shows to promote. Let me see what you got. Saturday, the Regent Theater in Los Angeles. This coming Saturday, February the 23rd. The Herbst. I hate that word.
22nd.
Yeah.
It's this 22nd.
You said 23rd.
What's that?
You just said 23rd, and then I said 22nd.
Yeah.
Did I say 23rd?
You did.
February
But it's the
22nd, the Herbst Theater
Those
in
are
San
the
Francisco.
opiate withdrawals.
I know. I was panicking.
Those are all benefits. They're all all the money goes to
100%
charity.
charity.
And you go to
100%.
PeteHolmes.com and they have links to go.
We had two of the best crowds ever. Do you ever play the Gramercy Theater? It's like set up perfect for comedy.
It is perfect.
I almost shot my special there, but it was a little too small just for a shoot. I've done
Well, you have to
podcasts
take
there.
out rows of seats and all that
You
stuff. It's
do,
great
yeah.
for podcasts. I've done my podcast there.
They were awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's really great.
It's an old school theater. It's like it's got more personality. Like I shot at the Skirball, which is nice, but that's a cool theater, but it doesn't have personality the way fucking
Gramercy does, yeah.
Really cool.
Now,
And
do
the
you
night
guys-
before, we were in Philly, which
That had personality.
What gig?
that was my opening joke. I go, "Hey, Happy New Year." I go deep with my Happy New Year, like joking about how it's late, and someone just goes, "Balls deep." And I was like, "Okay, we're in Philadelphia. Good to be here." Then I'm like, "Okay, they want to interact." I start talking to a young lady in the front row. Guy goes, "Show your tits." But what's worse is it gets a huge laugh.
Yes, and he met you. Very confused.
And I
with all-
obliged. I squeezed them together.
I couldn't believe how surprised you were at that. Like me and Jimmy, like that's like nothing. I mean,
No.
because I got 2 show tits.
Yeah,
two of them.
He said it twice. Artie said, "That's good for Philly."
Absolutely.
Dude, I was doing the Tower Theater one time, and Pete Correale was my opening act, and this is 2002, and they start doing an Eagles chant in the middle, and Pete's hilarious, and they're standing up, "E A," and he's like, "I've never fucking seen anything like that."
There's nothing like Philly. I mean, a guy in a Philly game, they had this on SportsCenter, threw up on an infant in front of him, and it got like applause.
Well, you told me before I went out, wasn't it? They were like, one time at an Eagles game, Santa Claus came out
Yeah, he got
at a certain
booed.
point, and he got booed, and they threw snowballs at him, knocked the guy out, and I was
got-
like, "What did he do?"
He got knocked out.
And Artie goes, "He just came out. That was enough.
That's all you have to do.
Just arrived."
Yeah,
St. Nick.
I was at the Electric Factory for a New Year's Eve show, and the Electric Factory is set up. Do you ever play that? It's like the Coliseum. They're
Yes.
looking down at you.
There's like 3,000 people in that room. Yeah.
They're right
Oh,
here.
my God.
They're right here, like a stern crowd, man. And there's a kid with a Molson. He's holding a Molson with his pinky, like this. And he's got a girlfriend who looks exactly like him. Red face, freckles, and like that Deptford, Washington Township is seconds away from Percocet.
Yeah.
You know? So after every single joke, I would tell a joke, get a punchline, he would go, "You fat fuck!" And it got a laugh. It got a laugh every time. A way bigger laugh than I was getting. So I just want to get a check and get out of here. So I let him do it every single time for 28 minutes. Punchline, "You fat fuck!" I did it another time. There's no fat fuck, and I threw my timing off. I look up like, what the hell? His girlfriend goes, "He's in the bathroom."
Oh, my God.
I laughed for 5 minutes. He's in the bathroom.
That's
too
funny.
good.
And she was holding his Molson.
Have you had that? Because Judd, you started doing comedy. You did stand up years ago, and then you do all these great films, and now you're doing stand up again. Have you had any of those moments? Because I mean, you're very well known, so people kind of are happy to see you. But have you had any of those moments, or any of the "you sucks" or the aggression?
Not too bad, but I was at Gotham, and a lady shushed another lady, and just in the middle of me talking, they just went at it so hard, and kind of 8 people had to get kicked out in the middle. It was just like, shh, shut the fuck up, and then they exploded.
So that's worse than heckling sometimes when they have a loud conversation.
With each other.
Yeah,
Right.
you're in a room with other people.
There's also laugh heckling. If there's someone in the crowd that just laughs like, "Ah!" and you can't technically be mad at them,
Yeah,
but you're
you
like,
know that they like the attention.
yes, exactly.
Because the fucking asshole host went, "You got a great laugh, lady," and then brought on the feature. "Hey, stupid, don't acknowledge it. Her laugh stinks."
We were showing.
It's like not showing the picture of a killer. Don't put it in the paper. It encourages them.
Exactly.
We made this movie with Kumail Nanjiani called The Big Sick, which is coming out this summer. It's really
Please
great.
watch The Big Sick. It's going to be great.
When do you sleep? Unbelievable.
We were at Sundance, and there was just one older man, and there's 1,200 people in the movie theater. The entire movie, oh boy, oh, yeah, and this laughing, the laugh that you notice, but then I was like, oh, don't say that. But it was like the version of the old white guy doing that. It's about a full play-by-play.
Some people don't know how to participate in movies. When I saw Castaway, one of the quietest movies ever, there was a woman just going, "Oh, he needs shoes." Anytime, it was trying to non-verbally communicate the story. It's like, he's got a friend that's a ball now.
Oh no!
Oh, he lost his friend in the ocean. He has to make a choice.
He needs shoes. She ruined my left foot.
That could help sometimes.
He needs shoe.
my only version of that is I was at Zany's in Vernon Hills, Illinois.
Oh, I've been there.
Oh, it closed.
If you want,
Did it?
Yeah, one of them did. Yeah.
If you want to kill yourself and you want to go somewhere where nothing will change your
Artie,
mind.
I opened for Stuttering John at Vernon Hills.
I was probably with you. I was probably with him at the time.
I don't think you were.
Oh,
It was
really?
Evil
Oh,
David
no.
Letterman.
That's right, Evil
Stuttering
David.
John and Otto and George.
What an-
and
oh,
Otto
oh, wow.
was very nice to me. I
Well,
like
he's a
telling
nice-
this
nice
story.
guy, yeah.
He was lovely.
You know, he's on stage and he's filthy and all that, but then like he would be like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "You look like Jeff Bridges. Go to Hollywood." Literally.
I think he was trying to fuck you.
The puppet fucked me, Artie. The puppet fucked
He
me.
would go to score crack, Otto, with the puppet. I sat next in Buffalo. Me and Otto went to an after-hours club where they had party favors, and I was sitting in between. The puppet was sitting in between me and Otto, smoking crack cocaine.
Oh my God.
No, the puppet wasn't. We were, and we missed every show.
Did you really?
Yeah, but the guy from Buffalo was just a real asshole.
Yeah, you showed him.
Well, we got paid first. He gave us kids.
Oh, bad move.
Yeah.
So
Mistake.
Vernon Hills, Illinois, we did a 5:30 show. It was a no smoking show when you could smoke inside, and all old people, 75-year-old people. There's a guy with suspenders right out of the Whistler's Mother or something like this, and his wife next to him. Every time, instead of laughing, every joke he went, "Ah, that's something." Oh, that's something. And when you cursed, he said he covered his wife's ears. He goes, oh, not the missus.
Oh, no.
And he goes, just laugh. I want you to laugh. Don't say, "Isn't that something?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they think that by making a noise, they're somehow helping us as stand-ups, and it's like, we
Well,
don't need it.
I think some people, not that guy necessarily, some people it's violating to be made to laugh. I think that's why on date nights, guys heckle and stuff because the girl is laughing. You're making her have these involuntary convulsions. It's kind of invasive, so they're like, "Fuck you, you fat fuck," with their Molson.
That's a good point. They don't like you making the girlfriend laugh
And
sometimes.
so if you're not laughing and you're like, "Ah, that's clever," then you're a big man and you're big shot. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't laugh at girl comics as easily. Because they're like, "This woman ain't gonna get me. No way. You need a dick to get me to giggle."
Right.
It's serious.
Man,
It's like
that was
given.
a big insight into your theory. That's why the woman on chloroform will not laugh.
So you haven't necessarily gotten screamed at, but you've had just
Oh
things
no,
happen.
everyone is
Yeah,
been
but at our
pretty pleasant for the most part. At our show,
People hand you scripts and stuff.
People
That's
hand me
something.
scripts. Yeah, but they hand me little, like memory sticks with scripts.
Yeah,
But you can't even look at them because then all of a sudden, if it's proved that
It's
you
true.
looked at them,
It's true.
they
Oh, no, I
don't want
get
to
in
file a
trouble.
lawsuit. You never read those.
Because otherwise, you would probably just want to spend all his time like reading scripts that people just hand him. 'Cause they're
Sure.
all so good, right?
What do you say when they hand it to you?
Well, it's very uncomfortable because people just go, "Well, you read this," and you know they work so hard on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not necessarily looking for scripts at that moment. But you don't want to like crush their dream or anything. So it's tricky.
Well, I opened one on stage, and then I was going to joke about it. Not tease the guy, but joke about it. And I was like, "This only ends in a tap on my window at 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
He didn't like my script, eh?
But then we opened it on stage and we looked at it. And the first paragraph was like, 3 men on a submarine.
Yeah.
And we're like, why me? Why do you think that I'm about to make a
He
submarine
thought you were
movie?
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
It's a murder mystery. Two of them are killed.
What if it was like the Confederacy of Dunce's story and it was brilliant? You couldn't stop
Yes.
reading it?
That happens.
Wait, hang on a minute.
The problem is when somebody hands me a script, usually they'll email me one. I write them back and I tell them I can't read this, but it's legal reason. It's not that I don't care about your
Yes.
product, or
Right.
it's I am not going to put myself in a position to get fucking sued because you
Right,
think
right,
I
yeah.
stole your
No,
shit
that even
10 years
happens-
from now. I won't do it.
Someone on Facebook, like, I have a great joke idea, and maybe they're a fan of mine and they
Yep.
know your voice, and you're really worried you're going to read it. It's in your subconscious, then you riff it, and then it's a tap on your window at 3 a.m.
Every
Yeah.
time a movie does well, you get sued by someone who said they thought of it first.
Absolutely.
Every single
Have
time.
you been
And-
sued?
Almost every time. And
As many times as Trump?
not 3,400 times. but I after we did You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Somebody sued. It's like I thought of that. Like
I remember that story.
like 2 years ago. And what was funny is that we had written it 10 years before. Like we had written
my
it so
God.
long
It's
ago.
so great when you have that in your back pocket. Like,
How did you prove that? Did you email yourself? There was always the old trick of mailing a letter and then
Yeah,
not opening
well,
it.
it was
that's
registered
right.
at the Guild like
Oh,
10
you
years
registered it.
before. So that one went
You know
away.
Now,
what
you mentioned Pete. You mentioned Trump. You're not enjoying what's been happening.
Well, I'm
Presidentially.
scared because I feel like he's one, he's a compulsive liar, and so then you think, well, either
My lies are
he's
terrific.
either he's manipulating everybody or he's actually delusional and crazy, and both sides of that are scary. I like when they say North Korea tested a ballistic missile. I'm not happy he's the guy dealing with it.
Well, and that's the other guy too. It's like there's this conversation. That guy is a. But my thing with him, you mentioned once in one of your tweets about regulations. I used to work construction, and then at the port, and those companies will, if they can, forget it. They won't give you anything safety wise.
That's the thing is. All these companies could get rid of every regulation. So when people are excited to dump them, there are people like fighting to loosen E. coli regulations.
I know, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Can we have more fecal matter in our ground beef?
Well, devil's advocate here.
Right counterpoint. On a construction site, those companies they have no ethics. Like they will just masks for asbestos and like shake it off.
Yeah.
There's too many regulations, but some of them are needed. There are needed regulations.
It's like anything else, like the unions. The unions were needed in the beginning, and then they started taking advantage of
A bit, yeah,
like
sure.
when I was a longshoreman, the guy, I was on the orange juice pier. The guy was paying people in South America $1 a week to pick oranges, and he was paying us $40 an hour to play 500 rummy. And when he visited, he was like, and he broke the union as soon as he could. And that's when I quit because they were handing me Molotov cocktails to throw at a Portuguese guy making $5 less than me. I'm like, I'm getting out of here.
Have you always worked in did you ever have a job besides entertainment, or has it always been I'm always amazed by people who have made their whole life in the business somehow. Otto never worked another job.
I mean, when I was a kid, I was a dishwasher. I was a dishwasher at East Side Comedy Club on Long Island in the 83, 84, and that's when it was like Bob Nelson and Rob Bartlett.
Right.
And Eddie Murphy was still, doing guest spots.
What was his name? Woods?
Bob Woods?
Bob Woods. I never met Bob Woods, but everybody loved him.
Crazy
Those
funny.
guys killed, man. That era of I remember seeing them at Rascals, like Dennis Wolfberg. Remember that guy?
Yeah, Dennis Wolfberg, amazing.
He just the walls moved. That guy.
This is comedy, man. You always see a black and white photo of Whoopi Goldberg, Robin Williams, and then one big fat guy, and it's like no one could follow Lenny. And you never heard of him.
Yeah, there's always that
some guy.
Like Joe Antis became a friend of mine. He's dead now, but he was the guy who Lenny Bruce took. That the guy?
No, I just mean that's a guy. That sounds like a style.
He was the guy that they said Lenny Bruce got that whole cadence from.
Really?
Like, hey, daddy, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And Lenny was a straight comic, and that was how Joe talked. And the comedian said he was Rodney's roommate for years. They said he was the funniest guy
Rodney
on earth.
took care of him for the rest of his life, didn't he?
He did, right?
Yeah.
I always wondered if they were, but I guess not. They were just friends.
I don't think I can comment on it.
Rodney was the story about Rodney. He's really a nice guy to comics. There was a disc jockey in Kansas City sent Howard a tape. We couldn't play it, obviously, because he gets sued. But he got Rodney Dangerfield's home number, and this was so touching. Like he did a shitty Louis Anderson impression, but Rodney fell for it. And he thought it was Louis Anderson. So he goes, hey, Rodney, it's Louis. I'm in Vegas, and I'm really depressed. And Rodney goes, get out of there, Louis. That's not a good place for you, man. You're going to hurt yourself. Get out of there. And he goes, I don't know. I'm drunk. I go, come on, buddy. And Rodney goes, you need money? Like I'll pick you up at the airport. Like, literally, really touching stuff. Yeah. And there's just this asshole disc jockey doing it. So he immediately goes to, all right, I'm going to bail and, go to the last line. He goes, but and the weirdest part, Ronnie, is I was on the plane and the stewardess was hitting on me. And then there's a pause and Ronnie goes, well, he's barking up the wrong tree there. And, implying that Louis might be homosexual.
Yeah.
But he helped everyone. He discovered Jim Carrey when Jim Carrey was really young. He took him on the road and took him to Vegas when Jim was 18 years old. And,
nice guy.
And and those specials were always incredible.
He broke Roseanne, he broke Kinnison, he broke Seinfeld, he broke Dice, he broke fucking everybody.
Jim, you go to Vegas for things that are 18 years old, right?
Yes, I do. Well, I can't go to Thailand for younger. Kidding, it's not my thing. I've never been to Thailand. It's creepy.
It always used to freak me out when some of the scumbag guys at the cellar would be like, we just went to Thailand with a suitcase full of dildos. And I was like, sometimes I take a Tylenol PM to fall asleep.
That was us
I
going to
don't fit
Brazil.
in.
That we went to Brazil. Patrice had dildos with him, but that was.
I didn't want to say it was Patrice
yeah.
that had the suitcase full of
Oh
dildos.
yeah, I wrote about it. But he wasn't into underage girls. He just liked to make a girl come.
Briefcase full of blues, the Blues Brothers. He was a suitcase full of dildos.
He was just bringing big dildos in.
You have a great story about you and him waiting to have sex with a hooker, and you both had hard-ons.
Oh, we were just. They were tenting in my robe. Yeah. We both took. I was taking 100 milligrams of Viagra at night.
Jesus Christ.
Over the counter Brazilian Viagra.
This was in Brazil, right?
Oh yeah,
Viagra.
This is real. 2003.
Over the counter Brazilian Viagra.
Viagra. You had 4 R's, and we were standing there in our robes. You'd go into the place. We were standing there in our robes, and I had a boner tenting in my robe, and Patrice just looked at this tenting erection and we just started giggling, like, look what we are, look what we're doing. It's wonderful. We made it. Yeah, it was like holding Emmys, except it was my boner in a fucking robe.
John, is that how you and Pete got together?
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
What, I was wondering what the connection was.
I was like,
there.
I have a
That's,
pitch and an idea for a show. Like that joke almost made sense. Like
It
a pitch.
did.
A pitch isn't something you call a boner.
Pitching a tent.
Pitching a
It was
tent.
there.
Thank
It was
you.
there.
Yes, and yes, and yes, and.
Are you still doing your podcast?
I am. Yeah, Artie's episode actually just came out today.
Oh, cool. You talk about God?
What's that?
Religion and God and
We
theories
talk
like that?
about comedy, sex, and God every
Oh,
episode.
awesome.
It's long form, like this show. We go about 2 hours, 3 hours. Something happens at the 2 hour mark when someone just slumps. and
Certainly does.
They really open up. well, Artie opened up big time on the show. It was very, dare I say, it was sweet.
It took the Stern Show and Howard, and he's a master at this, 6 years to get me to even cry a little about the heroin situation. And it took Judd and Pete about 18 minutes. There was a double team. It was the most surreal thing that's ever happened to me. That's saying a lot. We're at 18 people are eating sushi, and we're on his podcast.
Yeah, we're in a restaurant.
It started
we were
out-
so tight on time we had to do it in a restaurant.
Right, so, and Judd and Pete are on either side of me, and it started out nice, and it was actually very, again, touching. They seemed concerned and talking to me about my life. And I went into it, you got me into an area with my mother, and I said, this is a slippery slope, because there's a certain thing that happened in my life. If I do it here again.
What happened to you?
Don't do it. We need the exclusive.
Okay. There's a certain thing that happened with my mother years ago that always, I cry sometimes by myself.
Was it your fault?
I become a. It was actually her being
Very
doing me
sweet.
a very big favor in life.
Yeah.
But I become like Demi Moore in Ghost.
Well, what did she do? I don't even know the story. I'm not trying to get you to cry. I'm just genuinely curious.
I can explain
You
it,
know,
Artie, if
she's
it's
such a-
easier.
No, tell me.
No, it's easy. No, I was working as a longshoreman, and I that's not a job you find in the paper. You know, the guy who got me the job was very aggravated that I might want to leave the job, and I made $70,000 one year because I got the bonus, and. I gave my mother a bunch of money, which she needed desperately. We were on welfare. So she goes, this money came in handy, thank you. And I had the dream of being a comic. So I'm 22 years old, and I know I could keep making more money down there. And I said to my mother was tired. My father had just passed away, but she was, he was a quadriplegic for 4 years. She took care of him because we had no money for nurses, like whatever. She really needed the cash. And I have this stupid dream. I said, Ma, I didn't go to college, and not that I care. I wouldn't have went anyway. But I want to quit the port and maybe get a job driving a cab or something. But that means I can't help you out. I said, give me 4 years, like the time it would have taken to go to college. If I can't do it, then I'll go back to the port. And because the guy, I was very good friends with the guy. So she goes, no, I'll work 2 jobs. If I have to, you have to. I don't want you to not, because your father fell, and my father was the greatest guy, but he did not set us up. No insurance or cash, and we had nothing. And so she was like, no, I'll work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I don't want this to affect you to pursue this dream. And so
That's a huge segment.
It gets
That's
to
amazing.
me.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean, she would give me $20 to take the bus into New York sometimes, and that was like $100,000 to her. And 3.5 years later, I was on Mad TV. 3.5 years.
Wow. So you actually made it under your own.
I made
cutoff.
it under the gun. Yeah. That drive to the port. If I went back that morning getting coffee, the Daily News, that would have been a rough morning. But so that For some reason, your Patrice story makes me not cry. I don't think of that. Something funny. But these guys
It's hard to
really-
cry when you're thinking of a fucking guy with giant glass dildos. You know who cries? That girl when she thinks of it.
Well, you had just admitted that you cried during some Funny People, and it made me more comfortable. I think.
Yeah. I mean, when we were doing Funny People, I would cry all the time because we were, in a way, reenacting moments that were inspired by things that happened to my mom and Adam's dad, who both died of cancer, and so
He loved
it
his
was
father,
really
yeah.
hard. It was really hard to do.
I happened to be at Adam's bachelor party, and because I was with Spade, that night, and we went to the Palms. I said, "Why isn't this like a big thing?" And he goes, "Well, his father's sick, and he didn't think it would be respectful to have a big bachelor party." I said, "Wow, that's like," and we we were going out to a bar to try to find girls, and he was really in love too. Adam, he went, "No, guys, I gotta go. You go get that pussy." the Adam went, "Nah, you go get that pussy."
Go ahead, get that pussy.
that way he does the premiere. Like, he figured out a perfect way to say "fuck off," but I'll be nice about it.
Well, when we were doing Crashing, we reenacted. Crashing is based on a true thing that happened. I married the first girl I ever slept with when I was 22. We were married for 6 years, and then she fucked a small Italian man named Rocco. And
Is that true?
That's true. That's the real story. The show is a fictionalization and a much funnier version of that. But we had to reenact emotionally similar scenes. It wasn't like the character was a different character. It's Lauren Lapkus who plays my wife. But you're going through the stuff again. It felt like Black Mirror. You know what I mean? It was like very surreal. Then we did episodes with my parents, and they're saying, with my parents, I just ripped them off. I was like, you say this, you say this, you say this. But then you're in it, and you're like, this is like hell, but it's also your own show, so it's very sweet and
Did you pick
fun.
Did you pick a Greek guy for the show just so it wasn't
Well, the guy
too close? It wasn't an Italian guy.
that was another brilliant thing.
Well, she said he was an Italian guy, but he had a cock like a Greek.
That's
Perfect combination.
Well, that's another stroke of Judd genius is that he was like, I just think it would be really funny if it was like kind of like a touchy-feely hippie guy. Because that's kind of how I am now. So it's almost like your future you is fucking past you's wife. And like this really
so
messy
funny,
scene.
yeah.
He represents my views now. And he's just like, you can't own anyone, man. Like, just relax. But I'm trying to play Christian old me. So I'm just like, you fucking crazy. And it's really funny. George Basil is the actor. He really steals a lot of the show.
We have to wrap up. They told us we have a hard out at 11:10. Is that correct? And that's just
Real quick to plug his podcast, real quick. I bawled like I've never cried that much in my life.
Artie's amazing.
So that's a big
Being
thing.
able to work with Artie on the show and doing the podcast, which is called You Made It Weird. I'd love to get some ears on that one.
Sure.
And some great episodes. And I'd love to have you on. Judd's done it.
Yes,
Many
I've done it.
times.
I accept.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on.
We did a good one with Norman Lear. That was also
Norman
great
Lear
fun.
is great. Seth
That's
Rogen
amazing.
just did
Oh,
it.
awesome.
There's been some really great guests lately.
I interviewed Norman. We had a great time. We talked for an hour, and I'm like, we really bonded. Then he signs my book. Thanks, Ed. I'm like, all right.
You know why? Ed Norton.
Sure, yeah.
Now
That's hilarious.
I'm not going to tell my interviewing Gino Bisconti story. Well, you know what's funny about that funny people thing, though, Judd, real quick, is that you cried watching it. What would you have done if all of you had not become trillionaires? that opening scene is like the future of American comedy. It's you, Stiller, and Adam.
Yeah.
By the way, the show Crashing premieres Sunday at 10:30, and it's really good. They gave us the first 6 episodes,
Yeah.
I think, and I was gonna go through 2 just because it's like, okay,
Yeah,
now I know.
courtesy.
And I watched it was 3 hours, whatever it was.
Oh, my
I
God.
literally watched all 6
Oh, I'm honored.
in a row. Yeah.
Well,
right.
we're doing the shows. We did shows about barking, all these things
Yeah,
at
yeah,
comics. It's a show about a comedian who's not good yet, and I think that's interesting territory, especially in New York. We're talking about
Definitely.
handing out flyers. We shot it on the same corner that I really handed out flyers. The same corner Sarah Silverman handed out flyers. John Stewart. It's McDougal in third, and then we're there, and there's lights, and there's a truck, and there's Judd. I was like, what the fuck? I'm the luckiest son of a bitch in the
I
world.
finally owned the streets.
We shut it down. I'm still nervous when I play the cellar. We shut it down. Like, what's it going to take?
I hate to one up you, but
Relax.
I'm the luckiest son of a bitch.
No, guys, I am for getting to talk to you. Huh?
We
Lucky
just did
devil.
the Today Show. That feels very familiar.
And the Crashing Comedy Tour Days with Judd, Pete, and Artie. That's an amazing show. They were at the Gramercy. They're going to be February 22nd, the Herbst Theater in San Francisco. And then this Saturday, the Regent Theater you're in Los Angeles, go to PeteHolmes.com.
For ticks.
And congratulations on Crashing. It's a great new show on HBO, 10:30 this Sunday, starring Pete and Artie, directed by Judd. I mean, this is just awesome.
Thank you,
great.
Ed.
And thank you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Let's bring in our guests. I believe we have Judd Apatow and Pete Holmes promoting Crashing. I keep saying Crash, but it's Crashing.
Yeah,
Premieres-
Crash is something totally different.
Totally different. But my
Not
heart was in
even
the right
similar.
place. It premieres Sunday, 10:30 on HBO. Hi, Judd. How are you?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
And hello, Pete. Hey, Dave. How are you?
Hiya, Jimmy.
Dave Rath. Good to see you, pal. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, we switch back and forth. Oh, my God. You guys got a whole crew with you.
Well,
Let me make sure Judd's on. What mic is that?
we roll deep.
Yeah, you do. It's a lot of people.
I'll be working
That's
with
Mike 5.
I'll be working with Mike 5 today for all of you at home.
Okay, cool. Now, now
The
it's-
audience does like to know who's on which number, Mike.
Exactly. I'll be the Jewish one, and Pete will be the non-Jewish one.
This is a goy mic, right?
Okay, yeah, we have a J and an NJ mic, so I know which one's to pot up.
Pete and I have worn the same color jacket and shirt.
Yep.
This is what happens. Our periods are in sync.
Is that on purpose or no?
I think it's a lack of creativity on both of our parts.
We just wear blue. We're boys.
Yeah, boys wear blue. You're
Yeah,
wearing
it's
blue.
safe. I'm wearing blue.
And you're a
It's-
boy.
It's safe. I'm a boy.
We're the ladies at the party wearing the same cocktail dress.
Yeah, it's humiliating, but it's kind of like, yeah, we both have good taste.
Yeah, exactly.
It is warm in here, correct?
Is it
I'm a
toasty?
little
Yeah.
toasty. I was just hosting the Today Show.
Toasting.
Oh,
wow.
It's just a thing I do. It's just a thing I do.
Wow, well, welcome to this is quite a letdown, isn't it?
And then this afternoon, I'm hosting Charlie Rose.
Really?
Rose.
With Pete and Artie and Keith Olbermann is going to be on.
He's
Not
your
on the
guest?
same
I'm hosting
episode.
my ass off today.
Yeah.
Wow, have you done Charlie Rose?
I have been on Charlie Rose. So the one thing I don't like about Charlie Rose is I have a bald spot, but I never really can see it. But on Charlie Rose, there's a camera behind you.
Oh,
so it's-
yeah.
So all you see is my bald spot the whole time. So other than that, it's
It's the worst, right? When you look at yourself from a different angle, and like I've
Yeah.
convinced myself that I'm not losing my hair,
Yeah.
but I always put my chin up when I look in the mirror.
That's so funny. I've never had a high angle photo taken of me because I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
So every photo I'm just like,
So when
professional photographers to promote Crashing are like 5 feet tall, and I'm like, this is gonna look like garbage. Thank you very much.
yeah, the first time I realized I was losing a little hair, it's always the comedians. Keith Robinson goes, "You're losing your hair, stupid." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then I looked in the mirror. I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Oh no.
Thank you for nothing.
I realized I was losing hair when I leaned back against metal. And then suddenly it was cold against my head. I was like, what's happening?
I don't lose hair, I lose erections.
I'm sorry, I've always had that problem.
Right. So you're both.
You ever been? But yeah, you're making love. They're tweeting your nipples. You're like, "Oh, wrong gender. Who am I? I don't know.
This is Thursday. Wrong gender for Thursday.
I'm not the guy I thought I was." Where's Artie?
Artie is on a schedule of his own, but he'll just
He's like
walk
kung
in.
fu. He drifts. He wears
Okay.
robes a lot.
Yeah.
He's very good at fighting.
Is he coming in?
We think so.
Yeah.
We hope so. Oh, you never know if Artie's going to. That's part of his appeal.
That is
Yeah.
part of what makes it exciting.
If I want to do an Artie impression, I need a bite of a hoagie. Does anyone have a hoagie? I just need something in my mouth all the time.
Now, did you guys originally conceptualize Artie in this? Because the moment I interacted with you guys, I'm like, he's
Yes.
perfect.
Well, I think that we thought for the first
Or
episode.
you don't like
I
or
just
the
don't like the
implication?
word. It
Okay.
sounds so. It's like saying menu or something. It's menu, and this is girlfriend.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to get married. Why do I have to change the word I say? I just like to get her name out there as quickly as possible so I can just say Valerie.
When are you getting married?
October.
Oh.
This year.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I guess you can get nervous about, we were joking actually with Valerie. One of the great things about her is you can make these jokes.
You mean your fiance?
Oh, you fucking dick. I don't
come
have
on.
a sword. It's like inviting all your friends and family to watch you place a bet on your relationship. So that's tense. That's a little bit tense.
That's a funny way to look at it.
But I love it. We're completely open. Even if you can make a joke like that to your fiance, Jesus, it's a good fit for me. We got engaged in a hot air balloon.
Did you really?
So elevate your game, boys.
Weren't you scared of a hot air balloon? The idea of I have the nightmares of hot air balloons where they're just going to take off and then the guy has a heart attack and I can't get back down.
Yeah. That's a movie. Oh yeah, Artie
It's a
Lange
good
in the
movie.
house.
It's
Artie
like
Lange in the
instead of
house.
speed, it should be called slow.
Hi, Artie. How are you?
Arthur Lange.
I want to make sure that I get your mic on. Is that the
Just
mic
turn
too?
them all on. All the mics are.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. We were
Welcome.
just saying Jim has nightmares about hot air balloons, and that's not a bad idea.
And then
for
Artie
a
walks
movie.
in.
There is a movie where a hot air balloon escapes.
What's
There's-
going on here?
I like to say that I go, Artie's like an amalgamation of like 3 different comedians, and I'm like, that's not a fat joke.
Yes, it is. Let's make it a fact. It is so weird coming in here. Oh my God, it's weird.
Is this the
Why?
first time you've been in here in a while?
No, I've done the Opie show actually a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I have a blast doing that, and Sherrod show, Race Wars. But no, it's just life is the 180 my life took.
You mean serious? It's weird to come into serious.
Yeah. I'm not allowed in that part of the building anymore.
Yes. What do they think is going to happen?
I don't know. It's a very tense situation. He's got to be on vacation. Did you guys try to get on his show? Did you guys pitch doing his show?
What show are we talking about?
On Stern.
I'm just kidding.
Pete Dominic.
Well, if you want to reach Pete Dominic's family.
You have beef with Howard? Not a fat joke.
I guess you could call it beef, yeah. I don't
No,
know.
I know.
It's the most confusing thing. It's just weird that there was tension over on this side, except for me and you, and I was allowed in there, and now I'm not allowed in there.
Isn't it funny how me and Artie have remained friends through all of it? Like with Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern, when we got fired in NEW, Artie, I loved. He was so nice to me. The night we got canned, he was great. We've always stayed friendly. Me and Opie don't talk. He does Opie show. We're still friends. Like me and
Do you not talk?
we haven't
officially?
spoken since September.
Really?
But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, me and you have remained friends regardless. The world collapses around us.
Right.
And we just continue making love.
No, we would come up. Your life was again so efficient. I would come up.
Elopes with joints.
And he's a big weed guy, obviously.
And he enjoys the weed. He's from
Right.
Canada. To him, it's like a beer.
Right.
And so now the pot is very weak, on purpose. And so everyone has fun. It's like nothing. It's like everyone had a beer.
Right.
But the next day at the wedding, I was like, oh, I guess I should smoke pot. Maybe I don't understand this whole pot thing. Maybe it is delightful. And someone smoking pot, they're like, yeah, this is Seth's pot. And I didn't realize that meant this is what Seth smokes.
Right.
I thought it meant the pot from the night before.
Right.
Oh, it was a good shit.
One hit, I'm in the woods crying. I'm like in the room watching Golden Girls under the sheets. Like it completely took me down.
You turn into Margot Kidder. One hit.
That's the best reference ever.
I'm nude in the bushes.
That's a good question for Artie.
Oh, that's right. She was okay.
How much of drug experiences are good versus awful?
I'd say 99% were good.
When speaking to kids.
No, that's an excellent question because it depends on how you look at it. The actual doing them is great when you're high, but the aftermath and what it causes in your life is just so chaotic.
Yeah.
So I would say probably all were bad if you look at it that way.
But if you just keep doing it, then you're just high all the time, and then it's good.
That was if you have the money for it, sure. Most people have to keep stealing Buicks. I never got a lot of because the law will get you. You withdraw there, but I went through withdrawals in jail once, and that was the single worst. I said I'm in hell. Something happened. I died at some point, and I'm in hell. Going through opie withdrawals in L.A. County jail.
Opie withdrawals?
Opie.
We're all going through.
That's what I'm going through, too.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what to do. I've been waking up just crying. Where's my ex-partner?
If you'd like to make light of this anymore, let me know.
I've had other jokes I didn't say out of respect.
Well, thank you.
Were you vomiting and stuff in jail, like over the toilet and shaking?
Shits,
Roommate or no roommate?
Oh, well, at this point, a roommate, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
that everyone could see or just you?
No, well, here, they don't let you. They have to see us. But he was not a brilliant guy. We couldn't have pulled off the Clint Eastwood and escaped from Alcatraz.
Oh,
He would
no.
not have got his head done yet. What,
No.
what part? Have you
terrible
got the
thing to say.
hole done yet? I don't know if I told. This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. The last time I fell off the wagon, I got arrested. I was under indictment, and I had to have my a cellmate. It was a very large Hispanic man. He was about 300 pounds, and like the toilet in an average jail cell is like a foot from where you sleep. So when the other guy is, shitting, you're a foot from him moving his bowels. That's the only way. And I was trying to sleep, and I was terrified. I was pretending to sleep up here, looking like Keith Richards from Studio 54, and you just were working out, and what you've done to yourself, like working out wise, is like a story. It's a documentary.
Thank you, but I still couldn't make it in any earlier than you, so I'm not giving that much. You were doing heroin. We walked in together. So I wasn't doing that great, Artie.
That's what an awful sentence to say to somebody.
I feel like Jim should be your trainer.
No, well, he could do the cellar on weeknights, and then I tried the whole thing where wouldn't know. I wish I had Judd in my life at that point to give me that logical look. Like, no, I was going to try to stay up all night and go right down.
I tried to stay up. I'm not a big stay up all night person. I tried to do that once. I was punching up Happy Gilmore, and I was so tired and stressed because I was really young, and I thought, if I screw this up, this movie's not going to be good, which isn't true, but just my own pressure on myself to not screw up helping out Adam. And I stayed up late, and I was smoking pot, which I never do, and I had to go to a wedding in Boston of a cousin. And I get there, and I have a massive panic attack.
Oh, wow.
And I sit down in the wedding, and the bridesmaids get up, and they sing Bryan Adams' All for Love from the Three Musketeers. And my brain fucking melts down. Like, my heart starts racing. I start sweating.
That's not the song you want to die to.
And then I get on the plane to go home, and I have another panic attack. I have to stop in Chicago. I take a nap in the airport. I don't even know what's happening. I don't even know what a panic attack is. I think I'm having a nervous breakdown. And then I say to the stewardess, she's bringing people on the plane. I said, I don't think I can get on the plane because I'm really freaking out. And I thought she would go, it's going to be fine.
Right.
Just come on. And what she said was, on or off. And then I checked into a hotel and just got under the cover.
I've had hookers say that to me.
Out or in?
Yeah, while I was face down. So you got to.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying real quick. The worst reaction I ever had of all the drugs I've done is to weed. I got to L.A. and I smoked what was called the Chronic.
Yes.
This kid's an 18-year-old rich kid, the son of Quincy Jones' partner, and he was a really nice kid. But he said, "Just this is strong stuff." And I was 27. I'm going, dude, I started smoking weed before you were born. And I took 2 puffs of this stuff. I got back to the Oakwood Apartments, not a pleasant place. And I was literally trying to get the evil out of my body by standing on my head. I was calling friends.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Yeah, some pot is like acid.
Yeah, it's laced with something. It was orange. And I thought I could handle it. And it's 2 puffs, man.
That happened to me at Seth Rogen's wedding. So Seth Rogen, at the dinner before his wedding, he gives everybody pot, right? Like literally, like a woman dressed up is handing out on episode. We need someone really great, and we said, should it be Artie? Could Artie do this?
He came
Is Artie
in
up for this?
for the audition in like a V-neck white undershirt with stains. He was wearing sunglasses indoors. It wasn't bright. He came in with the script all printed out but not stapled and in the wrong order. And he sat down with the other 2 comedians. It was a group audition, but everything he said was hilarious. Like it was the least professional thing. He's very professional on the show, but the audition was like a localized tornado. And we were like, I think we have to do this with Artie. This is incredible.
Sometimes things falling apart in an audition actually makes it go better because it feels alive. It feels like there's something happening here.
It was so
be.
sterile, and then he comes in, and suddenly you're like, I can't take my eyes off this guy. He was so great.
And he's willing to talk about everything he's been through on the show because he's playing himself. But he's really smart. He knows what applies to the story and the scene because he is a great actor. He hadn't acted in 14 years because he had been doing radio and
drugs
and a lot of other
radio, some drugs.
And he's really strong. Like it's
insane to think that he just jumped right back into it.
And so much of the show is about Pete being religious and Artie, having these struggles. And so it's this religious comedian hanging out with all of these. Let's say not religious people, and the conversations and what they learn from each other. So it's a demented Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, Artie really is good on the show. But he is all the comedians play themselves on the show.
Well, some people
the
don't,
most
and that's
part.
the weird thing is every once in a while we want to use a comic to do something else.
Oh yeah,
Dov Davidoff plays a guy named Jason.
Alan
so
Havey does a character, and it's so funny we didn't call him Alan Havey. So our rules are malleable.
We just
Jim
want the
Norton
funniest person
plays
for the
Jim
job.
Norton, clearly.
Jim Norton does play Jim
Did you have
Norton.
like an audition script, and then if people did well on that, you would kind of write the episodes around them?
Yeah. We didn't bend the actor for the script. We bended the script for the actor. And one of the things that was genius that Judd did is we had the scene written for this pizza place where Artie's kind of being like the ghost of Christmas future. You know what I mean? He's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? It's not what you think it is." Basically, everything you want to tell a young comedian. And we had a script, and Judd just yelled out from behind the cameras, and we're shooting on film, so the reels are like 15 minutes each. He's like, "Artie, just tell him what you tell a new comedian." And then he did. And at the end of the reel, everyone applauded. It's like a huge reason why the show works is because he just riffed and opened up his heart.
Look over there. Everyone who's with us is on their phone. Every single there's 3 people. Our whole team, management, publicists, fiancés. No one's paying attention in the room. That's the level of
That's my
excitement.
fiance. I don't like the word fiance. If you didn't know what fiance meant, and I said, "Would you like to see my fiance?" Wouldn't you think I was about to show you my sword or something, or like my pet jaguar? It sounds so fancy.
Yeah, it is.
It's Valerie. Now I have to be like, "This is fiance."
Future wife sounds nice.
I like girlfriend forever.
Okay.
This is my forever girlfriend.
Is it the
my
word you don't
wife
like
to
or the
be.
implication of what is about to happen that you don't like?
What's that?
Is it the word